Topic discussed in this session is about essential conditions for globalization and various forms of globalization. There are certain basic conditions required for globalization. Firstly, freedom. There should not be unnecessary government restrictions which come in the way of globalization, such as import restrictions, restrictions on sourcing of finance or other factors from abroad, foreign investments, and so on. Facilities. The extent to which an enterprise can develop globally from home country base purely depends on facilities such as infrastructural facilities. Government support. Unnecessary government interference is an hindrance to globalization. Hence, there is a requirement for continuous support and encouragement by government for globalization. Resources. One of the most important factor which often decide the ability of a firm to globalize. Resourceful companies may find it easier to thrust ahead in the global scenario and market. Competitiveness. The competitive advantage of the company is a very important determinant of success in global business. A firm may derive competitive advantage from any one or more of the factors, such as low cost and price, product quality, product differentiation, technological superiority, after sales services, marketing strength, and so on. Orientation. A global orientation on the part of the business firms and suitable or globalization strategies are essential for globalization. Let's discuss the different forms of globalization. Basically, there are 8 forms of globalization: social, technological, financial, economic, political, cultural, ecological, and sociological. Firstly, globalization through political. Political globalization refers to the diplomatic negotiations between nation states. It includes the standardization of global rules around trade, criminality, and the rules of law. International bodies, including the United Nations, European Union, and World Trade Organization, are key multinational organizations designed to facilitate increasing political globalization. This includes growing free trade and multilateral agreements on investment. One of the biggest positives of globalization is that it creates international rule of law. It helps prevent war crimes and policies, bad factors on the international stage. It can also help speed up other forms of globalization, such as economic globalization. Because standardized rules around food and trade standards make it easier for companies to sell their goods overseas. An argument against political globalization is that it involves countries meddling in each other's business. Many people think we shouldn't interfere in the decisions of other nations. Another criticism is that it led to the spread of political ideology of neoliberalism that increases the gap between the rich and the poor. Social globalization is also known as sociological globalization. Sociological globalization refers to the integration of our societies, not to be confused with cultural globalization. Sociological globalization refers to the idea that we now live in a shared society. There are many different cultures within a society, but a society is a group of people who all live together. And now, more than ever, it feels as if we all live in one society instead of a group of different societies. For example, what happens in Afghanistan can affect US. A contagion in China can spread all over the world. A nuclear weapon in North Korea can threaten the lives of people in New Zealand. So it appears we are now all a common society who need to learn to get along despite our different cultures and beliefs. Because what we do affects people all around the world. Another aspect of social globalization is the movement of people. People can go from one country to another easily, and those who are most highly educated can get jobs in different nations with more ease than ever. The third form of globalization is economic globalization, refers to the ways corporations do business as multinational organizations nowadays. You will also notice the movement of manufacturing industries to developing nations to make the most of low wages and lowers the price of goods. This can help developing nations increase overall employment, but can be considered exploitation of nations with poor working conditions. It also takes good jobs away from developed nations. The fourth form is technological globalization. It refers to the spread of technology around the world. Examples of this include the spread of the internet, solar panel technology, and medical technologies, which can all help improve the lives of people around the world. The spread of technologies can be interpreted as the rising tide lifts all boats. Globalization means we can make the most of the best technologies from all around the world to make everyone's life better and improve everyone's economies. Technological globalization is closely connected to the anthropological scapes of globalization theory advocated by Arjun Appadurai. He came up with the term technospaces to explain how technology spreads around the world. Financial globalization, the fifth form, refers to the ease at which money can be spread around the world. The growth of stock exchanges like New York Stock Exchanges, as well as internationalization of financial markets, has made it easier for people to transfer money internationally. The benefit of this is that it's easy and cheap to get investments for new business ventures. You can find a Chinese, French, or a Canadian investor to wire you some money to start your business instead of just relying on local investors. But many nations also face backlash because of the sense that overseas companies buy out too much of their businesses, real estate, and farming land, which could be a threat to a nation's sovereignty. Cultural globalization, the sixth form, refers to the spread and mixing of cultures around the world. As Arjun Appadurai talks about the possible effect of homogenization of culture, where dominant nations like the United States spread their culture through television and movies, which leads to the dilution and loss of local and indigenous culture. One example is the spread of punk music. Concepts related to cultural globalization include cultural adaptation, cultural diffusion, and hierarchical diffusion. The seventh, ecological globalization, refers to the idea that the world needs to be considered one interconnected ecosystem. This means that the world needs to work together to address ecological issues that cross the borders of nations. Examples: damaging effect of ozone layer, which requires the world to ban CFCs. Climate change will affect the poorest nations, even though much of the damage is caused by developing nations. To address these issues, climate accords like Kyoto Protocol and Paris Climate Agreement have put into place, where each nation agrees to invest in lowering its carbon emissions. The last form of globalization is geographical globalization. It refers to the idea that the world is no longer seen as groups of distinct nations as much as it once was. We now work in multinational blocks to make decisions and nations work together to solve problems. It also refers to the fact that we are now able to travel between nations with increasing ease. You can go from the United States to Europe within a day. Furthermore, people can identify as belonging to the multiple geographic regions, especially if they hold multiple passports. Heritage and familial ownership of territory is getting weaker and weaker. Hence, in this session, we have discussed about essential conditions for globalization and 8 different forms of globalization.